for Leeds TV, and here we are with an absolute legend of mine and a lot of other sports, Heidi.
How do you do?
How do you do? So, talk to me about the history of your supporting Leeds, the history of going on away games, history to come here as well.
I've supported Leeds United for over 50 years. I started going regularly to away games from 1971 and had 7 years of not missing a Leeds game home and away for 7 years, and basically through that time it was horrendous at times following Leeds because of the trouble that came at games. I got beaten up at Doncaster Rovers in a friendly game in 1973 by eight girls, and after that I was scared everywhere we went. But because I was scared, it seemed to attract more trouble. The thing was, I wanted to follow my team because we had the best team ever. So I always wanted to go, and of course, because you didn't miss a game, you didn't want to miss one. And you know, I did actually have the privilege of seeing the best team ever with Billy Bremner, Donny Revie, and see us lift the cup at Wembley in '72, which was absolutely fantastic.
So many supporters probably would have wanted to experience that. That must be absolutely fantastic to see that team as well.
Yeah, well, that was the first time I'd ever been to Wembley, and it was out of this world. I just knew we were going to win that day, and it was seeing Billy get that cup, and everything before the game though. They had the community singing, they had Tommy Steele coming out wearing white, so Leeds fans were singing, he's a Leeds fan. And Abide With Me was sung that day, and also the national anthem, and hearing that whole stadium sing it is just absolutely awesome and something you never forget. So, you know, yes, I'd say that's one of my special games, really.
So today's opponents, obviously, apparently there's a lot of rivalry between us, but you were saying before that it's not here, it's there.
It is. I mean, basically, first time we went down were in the 80s. I don't know if it's simmered cup first, but we went down and they stood on street corners there, putting the hands across the throat and threatening and intimidating. I mean, in them days, we were in a corner behind these fences with barbed wire on the top, you know, and I think it was -6 one of them nights. So there were about 500-600 of us there. I don't know whether we'd actually played them for donkey's years, but yeah, you know, they were trying to prove who they were. But I think they've got their own hatred of us. I don't like going down there, I'll be honest. I don't want trouble.
Really?
I hate trouble. And I just don't like what they are, basically.
And do you think it's going to be like that today? Do you think there's going to be some sort of kicking off, or do you think it's going to be quite well controlled compared to 11 years ago?
It is in here, but apparently it's kicking off in town, but that's why I won't want to go anywhere near town today. Sorry.
Yeah.
The further away any trouble is from me, the better. Because even after all these years, if anything kicks off after, you know, I start shaking like a leaf.
Yeah.
And I mind admitting I don't want to be anywhere near any trouble.
So off the pitch, some good news with Toby Knight. That's fantastic news, do you not think?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so pleased for the little lad, and the fact he can start his treatment. He's going to be here today, so hopefully I'll get a few photos of him before the game, but I don't know where they'll be. But I think that's just absolutely fantastic.
And we've changed so much as a club, haven't we? In such a short space of time with stuff like this.
We're being run normally without anything going on in the background with court cases, and that's something I hated.
Yeah.
I'd rather we did our talking outside of it, and hopefully we're all on the right lines with everything. Things are moving in the right direction, and yes, there's still improvements to be made, but you know, it's always going to take time again. It's not going to happen overnight. So, you know, I'm happy we're moving in that right direction.
Good. So obviously with Eric just recently died as well, that's quite a hard thing for some fans to take in as well.
Well, I've kept in touch with Eric Carlisle after all these years anyway, even after he finished with the running the supporters club. I always sent him Christmas cards, and I got my last Christmas card from him as well, so I'll be going to the funeral. Yes, it was a big part of Leeds United, because when I started following Leeds, they had what's called the postal branch for the supporters, and so I joined the supporters club that way, and eventually when they started doing branches, that's when I I think it was Fullerton Park I joined first. So, you know, and I'm back with Fullerton Park again now after all these years. So,
So what book have you got out at the moment then?
my latest book is The Sleeping Giant Awakens, 2016-17. I do a blog called Follow Me in Leeds United every game, and because I write up the day as it is from a fan's point of view for the fans, and I take photos of the fans, I thought, well, it'd be nice to share it with fans out there, so that's what I've done with that one. My first book was Follow Me in Leeds United, which is based on the 70s. My second book, Once a Leeds Fan, Always a Leeds Fan, self-explanatory, but some of my diary entries from the 70s, plus other fans' views. Then I did one with Andrew Dalton called The Good, the Bad and the Ugly of Leeds United in the 1980s, which is specifically on the 80s. So, you know, whatever they are, they're there for the fans. And the 70s one is a true story because it was a girl in a man's world. And what I had to put up personally, along with my friends, for trying to follow my team as a girl, because as well there's all the verbal abuse, the sexual abuse, the everything else at that time, the trouble, but everything in it is true.
And do you think that's changed now, or do you think it's still there?
Oh, a lot of it's changed. I mean, the thing was, after I had my first two children and came back in the 80s to the away games, I mean, it was just like the 70s but without the abuse.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, even now somebody came up to me and says, what did you write about me in that book for? And I said, because it was true. And he went, I know. So, you know, people know, everybody knows what's in it has happened. So, and I got asked, is it true? And I went, absolutely. Nothing is made up. It's as it was. And, you know, that's how I saw it, and that's how I record it. And it's the same with the blog today. You know, a lot of people around the world who can't get to the games, they like reading it on a match day or day after, depends when I can get it done. But they like reading about it, and even people who go to the games themselves like to read it to see if they've missed anything.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do it for the fans, and I've started. I've got to keep going now for everybody.
I'm like you, I'm in the Cop every single home game. There's a lot of talk about the South Stand, and the South Stand start getting like different things going during the course of social media and getting into, speaking to the owners as well.
Yeah.
Do you think the Cop needs to do something like that as well?
I think that will come in time, but often I think the South Stand can't hear us singing, but the acoustics in there have never been fantastic, I don't think. But on our day, we can still do it.
Yeah.
But it, you know, I'll be glad if it carries on. I mean, I just join in with the South Stand many a time, even if it's on my own. But my voice isn't brilliant anymore. But I still do it. I sing wherever I go. And I mean, I've just been with another few Leeds fans organising the recording of all the old Leeds songs from the 60s onwards.
Right.
So we're still in the process of that because there's still some editing and all sorts to do. But for everybody who thinks we've only got one song, you'll be pleased to know we've got over 200.
Oh, brilliant.
Chants and songs. And yeah, it's...
and when we'll be able to find out about that?
Well, I will be posting about it when we actually get it and everything. But no, it was good to do. And yeah, it's authentic. There's some swearing on it. You can't get away from it. But if we wanted it as it was from them days, there's some songs that can't be included, obviously, for reasons that, you know, everybody will know about. But I have got some authentic recordings on my website, which is www.followmeinleedsunited.co.uk. I took my cassette recorder onto the Cop in the 70s.
Really?
So we've got actual authentic recordings
Brilliant.
of the Cop itself and my friend as well. So it's something that you can't get away from, but it takes you back in time.
Yeah.
But it's surprising how many actually came back, and then you realise how many you've missed. But we'll never get them all.
No.
But, you know, I'll be glad when we've got it finalised and we can get it out there to everybody. So
what's your predictions for today then?
I don't like predicting because I get things wrong, and I don't want to put a jinx on them, to be honest. It'd be nice to think we could get the win and turn things around again, because things have been up and down after Newport. You know, I mean, Newport weren't brilliant, and I let, put it in my blog what I thought, because I think it was a disgrace that we didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how we could turn away these big games afterwards, the money involved and the feel-good factor. I think winning breeds winning. So if we can get back onto a winning track today, that would be great. And we'll just have to wait and see. But I'll let you know at end of 5 o'clock.
Fantastic speaking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.